as always, we have customers who bring trees to us that have lost their way. Very common thing, because in many instances, these people have inherited these trees. So I think this is either her father's tree or something, which he had. And I dare say these trees are probably from the mid or late 1960s. So they've been in this country for 60 years. There used to be, I think I told you, several companies that imported trees from Japan. There was one company called Henderson's. They operated from the City of London near the Bank of England. And of course, there were companies like Bromwich and Young and Tokoname Bonsai. So they imported trees. So the original tree would probably be like this, but you can see that the growth here a good 2 feet and here a good 3 feet has grown in the last 60 years. And you must give this person credit because they've kept the tree alive. Many people don't even manage to keep the trees alive. So to be able to keep the tree alive for over 60 years is quite something. Of course, they don't know how to style the tree, and it's fairly healthy. And this lady told me that she had not fertilized the tree at all. So there are many things I could do with this tree. As I always say, bonsai is life, like life. Every problem has more than one solution. And if I gave it to 10 different bonsai technicians, I don't like to call everyone an artist, a bonsai technician, they would come up with 10 different solutions. You could, like Josh the cameraman was saying, you can make a literati. Yes, it could make a literati. The movement and the line is quite nice. There are so many possibilities, so many possibilities. But if it were my tree, I think this is very straight. So to make a literati with that portion could be a bit difficult. But with all these problems, you very often have to think outside the box. So you got to turn it in all sorts of different ways. You turn it this way, you get a perspective. You turn it this way, you get another perspective. And if you turn it this way, you also get another perspective. See, it could end up as like a semi-cascade tree, or semi-cascade tree this way. Semi-cascade tree this way. So there are many possibilities. But what is for sure is that this branch is too long. Absolutely too long. Unless you wanted a tree to grow like that, it would be too long. So I want to make this tree more compact looking, and because she did express an interest in having a semi-cascade tree, I will probably do a semi-cascade tree for her. So I can see that this is a possible leader there. So, as we say, bite the bullet. I'm going to chop it off from there. Timber. Altered the look of the tree straight away. Just taking that one branch off has altered the look of the tree. Now this is too long as well. Now it's looking more like a bonsai in proportion. Just having the courage to do that can work wonders. And I can make this into a new leader like that and wire this down, and I've got the makings of a decent looking tree. So I will proceed to wire this and that. So I want to show you the detail of the wiring, just to say that I'm going to wire this with that. So we don't need to video that. I will show you when I put the wire on. I will then bend it in position. Getting Josh to do some fine wiring. So can you see we've arranged the pads, typical herringbone, like a branch, but this is the cascading part. And let me show you the tree so far. So we are still keeping to the semi-cascade design that the customer wanted. And I'm going to find another pot. So I've created an apex with one of the side branches. We've got an actual head there. So while doing the YouTube videos, who should turn up but some of my YouTube fans from Texas? If I can ask this family to kindly introduce yourselves.
Yep, I'm Mark. This is my son Andrew and my wife Diane, and we live just north of Houston in Texas.
All right. So, and you say the temperature is much hotter than this. Today we've got 30 degrees and you say it's cool like spring. This for us is boiling hot.
So this is a perfect weather for us. So this is like a normal spring day for us. So this is a nice time to be on the nursery.
So I'm glad you can see how a YouTube video is being made. And tell me about your YouTube journey with me.
Yeah, I got started with bonsai when I was very young.
Oh.
The wonderful Karate Kid
Yes,
movie, of course, back in the 80s.
Yes.
But then life gets in the way, you get busy with family and all of that. And but when COVID happened, suddenly I couldn't leave, and so I kind of, my hobby got reignited. And I happened across one of your videos, and then another, and another, and another. And there were so many basics that I killed a lot of trees at the beginning, and then I started watching and learning, and so far now my trees seem to be living. And
so tell me, because I'm always fascinated as to why my particular style of video is different from others and why people follow it. I don't claim to be a great master or great expert. I'm just a teacher. I like to think of myself as a bonsai teacher. So what attracted you to our videos?
Yeah, really it was the simplicity of it, right? I've seen other videos and they get very, very complex, and they may give you a lesson over 1 or 2 hours.
Okay.
And you were able to give us some very basic things about roots or wiring or whatever it is in just 10 or 15 minutes.
Okay.
And allowed us to see the before and the after of the trees, which certainly we always love to see, the after effect. And some of that same vision is hard for us. So definitely a lot of fun.
Okay, great. So I'm so glad to meet YouTube fans. In fact, this morning we've met about 4 different groups of people. So, but you're the furthest from Texas. I'm afraid this is not a, what do you call it, 5-gallon hat?
The big 10, it's not the big 10-gallon hat, but it'll still keep the sun off.
But this, believe it or not, I did buy in New Orleans. When I went to New Orleans in 2010, I think it was, I bought this from New Orleans because it was very hot there.
Yeah.
Louisiana.
Yeah, very close to the same weather as what we have.
Okay.
Very hot and humid.
All right. So I'm so glad to meet you guys.
It's nice to meet you as well.
Okay. So as you can see, all I did was cut 2 branches. I think this one must have been here, and this one was there. I cut these 2 long branches. That's all I did. And then wired all the small branches, and it is now virtually complete as a semi-cascade. And this long bit, a lot of people would probably want to make it into a gin or whatever. You might well do. Not that bad, but I don't think a gin is really needed. So gin for making gin for its own sake serves no purpose. So I'm not going to cut right hard back in case it dies or causes that branch to die. I'm going to leave a little stub and then let it die back naturally. I'm in no rush to complete the tree, and it's already producing a lot of sap, as you can see. That sap will help to heal the wound. You don't really need to put any sealant with pine. See, look at the sap coming out. That seals itself. And there you go. We've got a very reasonable semi-cascade tree. And tomorrow I'm going to put it into this pot, slightly larger pot, because I can't tease the roots. So I'll just keep it in a slightly larger pot to strengthen the tree, and that will be it. I'll take a final still when I repotted it. I'll do it tomorrow morning because it's too hot. It's over 35 degrees temperature in this greenhouse. So I won't tinker with it. I'll just give it a water, and that is it. Took us only about half an hour to do. There you go.